News at 5:30.
Right now, a Grambling State football player is gunned down alongside his brother in South Louisiana. We'll share what we've learned so far and how the Graham fans reacting. And outrage after two Bastrop officers shot and killed a suspect 2 months ago. What's next now that a grand jury has cleared them? Plus, an app that lets you talk to your lawmakers will tell you how it works. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, a Grambling State football player is in critical condition after being shot last night in Jefferson Parish. Daryl Clark was at Lemon Gym around 9:30 p.m. playing basketball with his brother when they were shot. Clark's younger brother was killed, and Clark is expected to recover. A third unidentified person was also shot. The Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office said that they do not have a motive or suspect at this time. And no question, it's been a very tough day on campus. Joining us with team coverage, newly appointed sports director Chris Demersion.
Thank you, Sarah. Obviously a very, very tragic situation involving Daryl Clark, a star receiver at GSU. Clark is set to enter his senior season for the Tigers. In 2018, he played in all 11 of the team's games. He ended the year with 3 touchdowns. Now, with the subtraction of other receivers, thanks to graduation, Clark is set to play a vital role in GSU's offense this season. This afternoon, I caught up with University President Rick Gallo on the tragedy.
The hashtag GramFam is short for Grambling family, and so when we talk about family, when one member of the family hurts, we all hurt, and so again, it's a very unfortunate situation, and for any of our students, not just student athletes, we're just continuing to keep them lifted up in prayer as they as they're navigating through this difficult time.
Tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from Tigers Athletic Director David Ponton, who'll explain more information on the tragedy in New Orleans.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
All right, well, new information tonight. The 2 Bastrop police officers involved in a deadly shooting have been cleared of any wrongdoing. A news release states that a Morehouse Parish grand jury determined the officers' actions and conduct were reasonable and justified by law. Back in March, 2 Bastrop police officers responded to calls about an assault with a firearm at Eden Apartments. The suspect, Thomas Johnson III, was armed with a loaded .40 caliber semi-automatic handgun. Investigators say Johnson disobeyed when officers asked him to drop the weapon, and he resisted arrest. Now, families spoke to us in the weeks following his death about what the next step will be.
We're going to just have to go to the next step and try to find the next resolution to, get justice for him. Because this matter is not going to rest until true justice is served in the behalf of our nephew.
The case was handled by the Louisiana State Police Criminal Investigations Division. Malia Davis, the 4-year-old Houston girl found dead after she vanished early May, will be buried in a colorful one-of-a-kind casket. It's white with lots of rainbows, the color pink, and My Little Pony, and even a portrait of Malia. Soulshine Industries built and donated the casket to the Davis family. The company's owner says she received more than 200 calls from the community asking him to make a casket for the Davis family. The designer says she worked closely with the family to come up with the theme. Now, you may recall Malia's remains were found in Arkansas May 30th. Her mother's former fiance is charged with tampering with a corpse. Malia will be buried after a private funeral on Saturday. Over in Arkansas, a small community in Calhoun County, Arkansas, has borne the brunt of the heavy storms that ripped through the Arklamas last night. The storms knocked down several power lines and light poles in Harrell, even uprooting several large trees, blocking roads and damaging many homes. As of now, power hasn't been restored, and it may take another day to get it back. Many say they have never seen anything like this.
It's a major hit to our small community, but the main thing, nobody got hurt. We're gonna come back because, we all know who's on our side.
Folks tell Fox 14's Gabrielle Pfeiffer about cleanup that's ahead coming up at 9. While last night's storms to blame for water woes in at least 2 parishes, power failures have forced Caldwell Parish and East Columbia water systems to issue boil advisories. If either is your water provider, boil their water for 1 full minute before use. A $3.5 million neighborhood revitalization is breaking ground here in the Arklamas. Fox 14's Ashley French was at the groundbreaking. She caught up with local officials and organizations. Ashley, what do they say this new housing initiative will add to the city?
Sarah, Preservation Mills is a part of the Monroe Housing Authority and is getting an upgrade. Crews broke ground on 23 new single-family homes. The homes will feature 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and will add to the city's affordable rental housing. Construction is underway on the new units along with South 3rd and 4th Streets between Bogard and Peach Streets. This area has been a focus of Mayor Jamie Mayo's Flight to Blight campaign. He says the new additions are more than welcome.
We have a neighborhood that has been very progressive in the past and then is deteriorated, if you will, because of a number of different reasons. And so to have an opportunity to have some enhancements, some revitalization is huge.
The Housing Authority applied the $3.5 million community development block through the Louisiana Neighborhood Landlord Rental Program. Construction is expected to be completed by early 2020. Reporting in studio, Ashley French, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, Fox 14 is your local election headquarters, and here in Louisiana, there's always an election going on. A new app gives elected officials the opportunity to reach out to potential voters. Fox 14's Maya Hudgens has been working to learn more about the app. Now, how does it work, Maya?
Sarah, there's an app called Your Vote that helps do exactly that. A Louisiana Tech graduate developed this app to connect elected officials to their voters. Officials can submit a question via the app, and within seconds, voters will be notified that a question has been posted. They can then log on and submit their responses.
I have a question running this week, and it says, as your next state representative, my job would be to represent District 14 and deliver solutions. What's basically important to you coming up in the next legislative session?
Officials and voters will be able to see in real time what the results are on that question. Coming up at 6, I talked with the creator of Your Vote. He's going to break down the inspiration behind the app and how it works. In the media control room, Maya Hudgens, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Maya. Coming up on Fox 14, a student with ties to the Arklamists is expected to go pro. Our Spencer Tillis joins us after the break with a look at where he hopes to land as an NBA draft pick. But first, Jared has a look at the forecast. Jared?
Hey, Sarah, rain back out, heat back in, paving the way to a very humid weekend. Make sure you keep the bottle of water handy, but the rain's not straying far. A full look at the forecast as Fox 14 News at 5:30 continues.
Eye on Ouachita. The opinions and views expressed are those of the Ouachita citizen and do not necessarily reflect those of Nexstar Broadcasting, this station, its sponsors, or employees.
I'm Sam Hanna, publisher of the Ouachita Citizen. The Sturgeon Town Council is expected to vote later this month on whether to raise the monthly sewer charge for the town's nearly 1,300 customers by some 36%. Sturgeon officials say the State Department of Environmental Quality informed them that the town's sewer system revenues were not high enough to adequately cover its expenditures, as well as make debt service payments owed to DEQ. Sturgeon currently is generating about $77,000 net income annually off its sewer system. Under the proposed sewer rate increase, Sturgeon will generate roughly $208,000 net income off the sewer system each year. In the meantime, Sturgeon must make a $26,000 debt service payment to DEQ in September, as well as another one in December. On a more positive note, more than 30 local artists unveiled 51 Heron sculptures last week at Caroli Park in West Monroe as part of a new public art project that will ultimately place the sculptures at locations across the community. The Herons on the Bayou project is touted as the most widespread public art project in Ouachita Parish. ULM art professor Brooke Foy is the lead organizer for Herons on the Bayou. There's those stories plus much more in this week's edition of the Ouachita Citizen. Subscribe today by calling 396-0602 or visit the Citizen online at ouachitacitizen.com.
News sponsored by Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat.
Want to know where the fish are biting this weekend? Catch the Honey Hole Insider with my fishing buddy, David Owens.
The Honey Hole Insider Weekly Fishing Report, Friday on Fox 14 News at 9. The right news at the right time. Find your freedom with the all-new Fox 14 mobile sports app, featuring faster highlights and scores to keep you in the game. And it's free. The Fox 14 mobile sports app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Ross Downs, attorney at law.
My name is Clay Russell. I'm the Executive Director of Fresh Start. And if you would like more information on our faith-based inpatient alcohol and drug program, you can go to myarklamists.com and click on Ask the Experts.
Injured in a car wreck?
Call Mars Park.
One call, that's all.
Call 807-1000.
Just Google Morris Park and call. He's on your side.
Car wreck? You need a car wreck attorney.
Do what the people of Monroe have been doing for years. One call, that's all.
Did you see the story about 2 local churches making unique donations to the Homeless Veterans Food Drive? See it now on myarclemis.com and the KTVE NBC10 KARD Fox 14 mobile app. Just click on the Did You See section under the News tab now. Did You See? Brought to you by Highcumble Eye Center.
The brave men and women of our military are the reason we all enjoy the freedoms we have today.
At Parker Auto Body and Parker Tire and Alignment, we want to give back to those who have given so much to us. That's why we are hosting a cookout July 5th from 4 to 9 p.m. at our locations on Cypress Street and West Monroe.
If you're a veteran or active military, come join us for good food and fellowship.
Also, for the entire month of July, we will be offering free basic oil changes for active and retired military.
Thank you so much for your service, and we hope to see you at the cookout.
News sponsored by Willis Knighton, home of the healthcare heroes. Jared Floyd, chief meteorologist of the Arc Limits. Fox 14 News at 5:30 continues.
Well, the NBA draft is tonight in New York City, and Zion Williamson isn't the only big storyline. One El Dorado native hopes that he gets a call to the NBA this evening. Spencer Tillis has more from El Dorado. Spencer?
Hey, what's going on, Sarah? Now, that is absolutely correct. It's going to be an exciting night here for a lot of people from El Dorado. Now, as you can see behind me, I am at the First Financial Music Hall. It's a little bit slower right now, but they're opening up the gates. We're really going to get this thing going about 6 o'clock as the draft party begins and the draft watch to see where Daniel Gafford goes. Now, the former El Dorado Wildcat was a huge staple mark of that team that made it all the way to the state championship game his senior year there. Now he's having a closed private viewing of the draft with his family up in El Dorado. Got a chance to catch up with some of his family, though, and pretty much anybody that knows him will tell you he's earned everything that he gets tonight.
Yes, we're all excited because we want to see something good. And nothing like this ever happened. Now, as I always tell her, you've got kids that she seems to have those kids that just have that special extra, you know. It ought to put a spotlight on this community and make them feel good about what we have here in El Dorado.
Now, there's certainly no doubt that it's going to do just that. He's projected as a late first rounder, possibly into that second round. Hopefully he gets a call and gets a fit with a great team, and we get to see him playing here at the next level. That's going to be it from El Dorado. Back over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Spencer. Jared will have your full forecast after the break. Stay with us.
For 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been cooking home-style favorites to perfection. We thought we'd celebrate by making our golden anniversary extra golden. Introducing new, crispy, juicy Southern Fried Chicken. Now at Cracker Barrel.
Want a relaxing pedicure?
Relaxing pedicure? My feet get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keeffe's for healthy feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet. Thanks to O'Keeffe's, I got my feet back.
Few people are as important in our children's lives as their teachers. That's why Governor Edwards worked with Republicans and Democrats to pass Louisiana's first teacher pay raise in a decade. This investment in our children's future is proof of what's possible when we turn a budget deficit into a budget surplus. Contact Governor Edwards and tell him to keep fighting for education. Because when we invest in our teachers and schools, our students succeed.
One call, that's all.
He's on your side.
Call 807-1000.
Call anytime.
Anytime, any place.
If you're injured,
You Google Mars Park and call.
Do what the people of Monroe have been doing for years. One call, that's all.
I'm Robert Lane, and I'm a 3B Outdoor customer. We purchased our mower about 2 years ago. Matt and his team helped me and my wife pick out the mower that we needed. It suited us. We went with one of the smaller Hustlers, and it's been a perfect fit for us. When it comes to the service, he will come to your house and pick your mower up, and once it's finished being serviced, he'll deliver it back to you, which has really been a huge help for us. At 3B Outdoor, you can trust Matt Bridges and his team. If you need him, he is going to be there and keep your mower in shape and ready to run.
Stuck in jail? Call South Second Bail.
Bad things sometimes happen to good people. If that's you, then you need to call South Second Bail Bonds. We're fast and friendly and serve all surrounding parishes. Stuck in jail? Call South Second Bail.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Congratulations to our Umbrella Day giveaway winner. It is Enrico Haywood of Marion. You win a Shed Rain umbrella, and you can go to myarclimits.com. Register your name and watch Fox 14 News at 5:30 for the chance to win your own Shed Rain umbrella. Take a look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Noisy night last night. Lots of lightning, lots of wind damage reports, trees down, power lines down, some structural damage. Most of it was really confined to trees and power lines in our area. A few lightning strikes causing damage and even some small fires. We had a report in Rayville, downtown Rayville, of a home getting hit by lightning last night. You saw the damage in Harrell, Arkansas, and portions of southern Arkansas through the overnight hours. We've had a few different tornadoes confirmed, not in our area. One in southeastern Oklahoma, one in Benton, Louisiana, that's in Bossier Parish, and then one in the Tioga and Ball communities, that's in Rapides Parish, and that's, again, just south of our area. But again, active night across the region. Also, it wasn't just damaging winds and tornadoes. It was a full gamut of activity, and that included hail. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and Polk County. I lived in Arkansas for 18 years. Never heard of that town. Grapefruit-sized hail yesterday, 4 1/4 inches in diameter, or 4 inches in diameter, roughly. That kind of puts things in perspective, just how large some of these hailstones were. Had numerous reports of baseball-sized hail across northeastern Texas and southwestern Arkansas and into central Arkansas yesterday. Cold front has already moved through. Really never passed through our area truly, but was the frontal system that was responsible for all of the shower and thunderstorm activity from last night. Temperatures never really cooled off much, nor were they expected to. We're in the low to mid-90s at this point. Monroe at 93, Ruston and El Dorado at 91, same in Vicksburg and Natchez, 92 in Alexandria, 94 in Natchitoches. Now you factor in the humidity values. This is what it feels like outside. I know folks are just cringing when they see Natchitoches. I will preface it by saying this. Natchitoches, always their sensor for the last several years, almost seems to run a little too warm and a little too humid. I don't want to say it's incorrect, but it may be just a little too high by a smidge of degrees. And actually, it's probably not the actual temperature sensor. It's always been the dew point that is a little bit higher. That's just me thinking out loud. But either way, 111, you don't want any part of that. 108 is what it feels like in Alexandria, 104 in Monroe. Heat index values across much of the area will be easily into the triple digits over the next few days. And areas like Natchitoches and farther southward, excuse me, not Natchitoches, but farther southward to the Lake Charles area, a lot of those areas are already under heat advisories. We could see additional heat advisories issued as we progress through the weekend. 76 for a low tonight, passing clouds, warm, muggy with winds out of the south. High temperatures tomorrow in the mid-90s. Clouds continuing, hot and humid. Again, the triple-digit heat index values more than likely a part of the forecast, too. Low 90s for highs as we go into the weekend. Still can't rule out one of those isolated pop-up showers or storms, but the rain chance is less than 10% at this point. A sneak back into about 10% on Sunday. Frontal system moves back in Monday, Tuesday. Not a big cool down, but with the added cloud cover and the rainfall, could knock highs back to near 90 for a couple of afternoons. Morning lows will stay in the low to mid-70s. Overall, not a whole lot of complaints once you get into the weekend. Of course, you've got a lot of outdoor events, Beach Festival included, so make sure that you're staying hydrated. Keep that bottle of water handy with you wherever you go. Light-colored, loose-fitting clothing, lots of breaks, and move inside if you start feeling a little woozy. More news right after the break. You're watching Fox 14 News at 5:30.
News sponsored by Banner Ford of Monroe.
I'm Mike Mayfield with Fast Serve Medical. We're your local experts for mobility and accessibility for the Arklins. Please join us on Ask the Experts on myarklins.com.
Hey, how was your week? My in-laws were in town. I got a standing desk. I tried quinoa.
I took the dog to the groomer.
Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them.
We drove 3 hours to the kids' swim meet.
Right now, get $1,000 customer cash, plus a $1,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tacoma Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Are you ready for the biggest summer ever? Go big with Altice One from Suddenlink. Now only $54.99 a month for the first year. That's 100 meg internet, 4K Ultra HD TV, over 200 channels, a newly upgraded operating system, a voice-activated remote, and unlimited data available. Act now and receive a $150 American Express prepaid card. Start summer right with big entertainment. Call 888-628-9059 today or visit suddenlink.com. Go big with Altice One, only at Suddenlink.
Having trouble getting approved for a car loan? Let Banner Ford of Monroe go to work for you today. Bankruptcy, divorce, bad credit, no credit. We say, bring it on. Credit problems don't scare us. Banner Ford of Monroe specializes in getting you approved and into that car, truck, or SUV you need today. Call 318-388-3300. That's 388-3300 and get special financing now. The Banner Way, a better way to get approved. I-20 at the Garrett Road exit.
The Twin City Mayor's Committee on Disabilities is holding a fundraising banquet to recognize our scholarship recipients and to honor individuals and businesses that advocate for the disabled in Ouachita Parish. Join us July 16th, 6 to 9 p.m. in the West Monroe Convention Center. Get your tickets today.
Fox 14 News at 5:30 continues.
The Cleveland Clinic in Ohio has now joined other top hospitals in North America by performing the clinic's first ever in utero surgery to repair spina bifida on a 23-week-old fetus before the child was born. Fox's Adrian Dia-Piazza has more.
The operation on the fetus in the uterus, I'm directing and in charge of. The guidance of where we should open the uterus, the exposure of the baby.
Dr. Daryl Cass, director of fetal surgery at the Cleveland Clinic, reflects on the hospital's first ever in utero surgery to repair spina bifida in a baby at just 23 weeks.
Spina bifida leads to disability in a baby. It can cause paralysis of the legs, buildup of pressure and fluid, and that pressure can lead to brain damage.
Fetal surgery for the birth defect is an option for parents at about 20 hospitals in North America, but never before in northern Ohio.
This shows the MRI of the fetus.
Over his career, Dr. Cass has performed more than 160 fetal surgeries before taking a year to build the new team at the clinic.
Simulations and walkthroughs and preparations for how the operation would go, how the family's experience would be.
The mother is doing well, but isn't ready for an interview. She's allowed the hospital to share video of the surgery.
We're scanning with ultrasound, locating the baby, and then we have to open the uterus up.
Doctors repair the baby's spine through a tiny opening along her back and then close the uterus.
It has to be stitched very carefully, and complications can definitely happen during this entire course.
But in this case, the baby's brain was able to develop more fully after the surgery, and the mother carried her child almost to full term.
The operation went perfectly, and in fact, the repair on this baby's back is the best that I've seen in the last 20 years.
Up next, Jared has one last look at your 7-day forecast. Keep it right here on Fox 14.
You're invited to join us Sunday, June 23rd. Prevailing Faith will host Grammy-nominated singer Dr. Ben Tankard. Pastor Charles E. Brown will meet you at 6 p.m. on Sunday, June 23rd at Prevailing Faith Ministries.
Captain D's new Fire grilled seafood. It's premium whole fish fillets and shrimp without the premium price. It's bold flavors like lemon pepper, blackened, and signature seasoning. Fire means flavor when the captain's coming. Captain D's.
Thanks, Morris boy. I couldn't have done it without you. I'm so glad I called after my car wreck.
We're really going to put that money to good use.
Reggie hurt his hip and called me. We got him $200,000. Injured in a car wreck? One call, that's all.
Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Settlement Helpline now. You work hard for your money. Protect it. Protect your assets. And protect your lifestyle, too, by calling Tax Settlement Helpline now. Our network of tax professionals will fight for you. They have helped save their clients millions over the years and can help you save, too. Call Tax Settlement Helpline today to see if you qualify to pay a fraction of what you owe. Don't stress over your unpaid tax problems any longer. Call Tax Settlement Helpline now. The consultation is free, and our tax resolution professionals are standing by.
Please call 800-683-4915.
At Clayton Homes, we'll find you the right home for the right price. We have several models of homes to choose from, or we can custom build to meet your needs. We offer excellent financing and award-winning service.
Hi, I'm Clay Knox. Come by Clayton Homes today and let us help put you and your family in your perfect home.
You're invited to join us Sunday, June 23rd. Prevailing Faith will host Grammy-nominated singer Dr. Ben Tankard. Pastor Charles E. Brown will meet you at 6 p.m. on Sunday, June 23rd at Prevailing Faith Ministries.
Penny ignites a war. You are playing with forces beyond your ken.
Well, your Ken can kiss my Barbie.
Don't get into it with Sheldon. The guy's one lab accident away from being a supervillain.
Next Big Bang.
Quick look at the 7-day forecast shows afternoon highs in the low to mid-90s for Friday and Saturday, morning lows in the mid-70s. Rain chances generally holding out for most of the weekend. So if you have outdoor plans, including the Peach Festival this weekend, make sure you stay hydrated. And light-colored, loose-fitting clothing, avoid the sugary drinks and the carbonated beverages. Just stay hydrated. Again, heat index values could easily sneak into the triple digits for quite a while through the afternoon. Rain chances back in first to next week could knock highs back to near 90, morning lows generally in the low to mid-70s.
So we're kind of back to those heat advisory things, like drink lots of water, use sunscreen.
May see some heat advisories this weekend. We'll keep an eye on that.
Okay, thanks, Jared. That's going to be for us. We'll see you back here at 9. Have a great night.